Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Heart Breathings. I feel like it's been a couple of months since we did a notebook challenge. So today we are going to pull out all the notebooks and planners that I'm using right now and talk about how I'm using it, updates for that, thoughts about how I'm determining my 2026 planner lineup. This is going to be a fun video. So I've got my coffee, grab your beverage of choice, and let's talk planners. Hello, hello, notebook challenge. All right, so I did not record a vlog yesterday. If you have been following my daily Rough Draft Diaries writing vlogs, I really had a busy week. And so yesterday morning, Friday morning, I just worked on getting my episode ready. I read it on YouTube and was live from 3 to 5 p.m. And after that, I thought, I just need a break. I'm going to listen to my body. I'm going to take the break that I need. I did not go to the Chloe Gong book signing. I'll just go pick up my book later. And I did not do pretty much anything. I just hung out with the family, totally vegged, went to bed at 10 p.m. and did not get up until 8. So I slept for 10 straight hours, which felt so good. So now instead of a vlog, we are doing the notebook challenge, which I feel like is a fair exchange. But if you haven't been following those vlogs, they have been really fun so far. We've got some fun stuff coming up. I am currently editing and reading my latest novel, A Mirror of Shadows, live on my other YouTube channel. So I'm tracking the process of writing and editing that. And then as soon as that book is done next week, I will start book 2 and I'll take you guys through the entire plotting, planning process for that, setting up my note cards, doing my grid paper, all of the things that I need to do to get it ready. So that'll be super fun. Make sure you're subscribed. Come hang out with us. And yeah, let's talk notebooks. So some of my notebooks are kind of just the same, but I couldn't remember if I showed you that I put a new backing paper on my Hobonichi 5-year. So I am in a new Hobonichi 5-year this year. So the previous one that I had went up from 2021 to 2025. No, 2020 to 2024. So now I'm in the one that goes from 2025 to 2029. And it's just, oh my gosh, holding this in my hand and knowing that someday this will have like 2029 in it, which is going to take my son up through like almost graduating high school, is just so wild. It's like, what will my life be like when I'm holding this book in my hand in 4 more years from now? It's wild to think about. So anyway, I love having a 5-year planner. You could really do this in any book that has at least 365 pages. And the way that it works is you just have 5 slots for each day. So you've got 2025, like a little space to write for each year. This year, like my previous version of this planner, I didn't write anything on the opposite side, but this year I have been writing, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I've got on here. This year I've been writing the weather, the high and the low, the tarot card that I pulled for the day, and then if there's anything like Andrew won the spelling bee or Andrew got a hit tonight or something like that, I will write, just various things, milestones that I hit. So a few little things in the margins, but so far I've been enjoying kind of playing around with that second page. But this is a Salty Katie Co cover, and I had a different like floral background. So I put this purple and I really like the purple. But because it's just a letter size sheet, it doesn't actually wrap all the way around. So I could have put another sheet here, but I just left it because I mostly look at the front. But I'm still loving that, still using it every day. It's probably my most faithfully used planner and journal. Then I also have my B6 Sterling Ink Common Planner. I have purchased this planner since she came out with it. So I think this is my 3rd year. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I think this is the 3rd year, and now people are ordering their 4th year. I have really enjoyed this planner for sure. I use it for my nightly journaling, and I basically mark all the full and new moons here. I do some kind of journaling on the monthly page of like, oh, it was a snow day, or Evie's so sick, or whatever, to remember. Then I track my daily tarot card, my daily thoughts, things like that. For a while, I was putting tabs on the page and tracking my habits. But then I sort of fell out of that because I was going to track it in a different planner and I didn't stick with it. And part of the reason this one works for me for tracking is because it sits next to this one that I'm already faithfully using every day in my side table when I go to bed. So we'll see how next year goes, but you can also see that here we are moving into mid-November, and I'm on page 155 out of 366 pages. So ideally, even though it's not marked like a Hobonichi, you should be using one page a day, or keeping up with it. And last year I did pretty well. I had like maybe this much left. This year, I think I just have not been in as much of a journaling mood. I've been struggling with burnout for the first half of the year, first solid half of the year. I was going through some health issues and still am. I'm going to be needing some surgery coming up. There's just been a lot going on this year. This year has been a little bit harder to keep up with everything. And so I've had to just scale back on the things that aren't necessary. And so every time I look at all these unused pages, I just think, oh, that really kind of sucks because it's in a journal that's dated for a specific year. So I did not purchase a new Sterling ink for 2026. And in a way, that makes me feel a lot of FOMO. It's also like I've had the same size each year. So there's something magical about being able to put the size of each year, the same size, all lined up on a shelf, right? But I've got 3 years of it and it's fine. But I'm not going to use that again next year. I will talk about this more during my planner lineup for 2026, which is not fully set in stone yet. But my beautiful children and husband surprised me with this Louis Vuitton Emily notebook cover for Mother's Day. And I have it set up with ephemera and other things over here on the side. And then I was using an Erin Condren Hello Kitty notebook in here that I finished. So I had purchased previously a few of the Sterling ink notebooks that were the 520 page. I think they come in like 260 pages or 520 pages. And I had one in the N1 size, which I think is the traveler's notebook size. But when I got this, and I had those little Hello Kitty notebooks, I was like, oh, I really would love a big chunky notebook in here. So I purchased, instead of a Sterling ink common planner, I had purchased this back in May, knowing that I would use it at some point. So this is the 520 page A5 slim notebook. So it's A5 size, but it's not quite as wide as a typical A5 size. It's just A5 in height. And again, put a cover on it. This is from, I'll show you, but this is from the Sterling ink store. But I don't know that it's actually meant to hold the 520 page notebooks, because no matter how much heat I put on it, how much stretching I did to it, it just wouldn't fit. And it kept crumpling up. So I ended up cutting a good half an inch or more off of the actual back of the notebook. Just so it fit in this cover, because I really want the cover to be able to decorate it. And then yesterday I went through, and while I was doing my resting and relaxing time and watching TV with Evie, I did a little washi tape dashboard that I think turned out so stinking cute. I just love it. And put some stickers in a little pocket that I had gotten from the Planner Society in here. It's just adorable. This is giving me like all the happy, colorful inner child kind of vibes for 2026. So I have already started using this notebook by putting some of the same types of things that I would normally put in here. But this has mostly been my morning journaling. And if you've been around for a while, I want to journal in the morning. I have a practice of journaling in the morning, but I keep swapping out what I'm using. For a while, I was using an Erin Condren horizontal. For a while, I was using the Traveler's Notebook. And then I also had purchased maybe a Sterling ink common planner in the N1 size is actually what I was using. I think it is a planner. I can't remember now. But instead of using a dated planner, I am just going to use this. And I think that this will last me not only all next year, but also part of the following year. So I'm kind of going long term with this and just bringing in the joy of it. And we'll see if I can stick with it, because there is always that like mid-year slump of like, I want something new. But I'm hoping this will be comforting to have this. And I kind of wish I had set up an index in the front, because I don't have that. But this is going to have or become mainly my journal. just one journal instead of it being split between a morning journal, an evening journal, and just a random other journal on the side. This will have everything. So this will have my morning thoughts, my evening routine, etc. But I think that the key is if I'm going to go to bed at night, and it's in the living room or in my office, I won't remember to use it or I won't have the energy to go up and get it. So I think the key to using this for both morning and evening journaling, which I don't do in the same location, is to just get in the practice of carrying this with me around the house and putting it back before I go to bed. And I will keep you guys updated on how that works out. I hope this will work out, but I'm kind of in a experimental mode right now. I think coming out of burnout and realizing that I wasn't allowing myself, I was taking things too seriously. Like everything I was taking too seriously, my business, my writing, what other people thought of me, just everything was getting too serious and like strategized. And I'm just coming out of that now and saying, I just want to have fun again. Let's experiment. Let's not take it too seriously. Let's just see how it goes. Let me just lean into the things that make me happy instead of trying to compartmentalize everything like I've got to be so good at all of it, right? Just like allow myself to just not be great at stuff for a little while. I don't know if that makes sense or resonates with anyone, but I've just been putting too much pressure on myself to try to be the very best that I can be in every area of my life, and it's just dragging me down because I just cannot be great at everything. And I just I can't put that kind of pressure on myself because I'm stealing the joy from my own life, if that makes sense. So, planning HB90, which I'll walk you through my HB90 planner this year, has been really helpful for that too. Of just kind of like, okay, how can we infuse some fun back in this? How can we not take it so seriously? How can we put less on our plates? But anyway, this journal is part of it, and it's absolutely beautiful. So I'm not using a Sterling Ink Common Planner, but I am using a Sterling Ink Notebook in the A5 slim size, and I get the absolute joy of using it in this gorgeous Louis Vuitton cover that hopefully will be around for the rest of my life. I just love it. Okay, so we were talking about HB90. I'm sorry for the glare, but I need the lights on here. So I will share with you some of the Hello Kitty collection that I just got in from Erin Condren, which, by the way, if you order a 2026 life planner, you won't get this with the notebooks, but you will if you order a planner. They're sending you this goodie bag that has 20% off your next purchase, a postcard, maybe a couple of little comment cards, and then it also has this pen, and it's a dual tip pen, so it has like a bullet tip point and a fine tip point. I love these pens. If you haven't ordered these pens yet, these are the best like felt tip or plastic nib pens Erin Condren has ever had, and I use them. I have them in so many colors. I use them on the daily basis. I love them so much, and you get a free one with your planner. So just to let you know, uh, okay, they have the cutest Hello Kitty stuff right now, like adorable to the max, which is this sort of coquette bow collection. So you've got Hello Kitty with the giant bow with the pink and red. Obsessed. I love this so much. So I got this in the A5 with just a dot grid paper. I also got, it's down here, I got the academic planner for next year to maybe potentially use this in my FrankenPlanner, but I've got it with this Kuromi cover. But I couldn't wait to use the cover, so I ripped it off the academic planner, and now that planner is naked, and I'm using it for my HB90 Q4 planner, which, because I never did a reset, I never got to show you this new setup, so I'll show you that in just a sec. But I also purchased a couple of other things through Erin Condren. It just got here this morning. So this is the new Hello Kitty like Christmas sweater collection. I love pink and red. It's like my favorite color combination besides maybe pink and purple. And so this is bringing me all the happiness. This is just a regular lined notebook, but of course you can pull the covers off. So as soon as it gets to be December, I'm going to take the cover and swap the Kuromi for the Hello Kitty. So cute. Then I got the pencil case that has the bows on it. You've got space for page flags, markers, your tapes, and other things in here. And this bag has a way that it stands up. So you can do like this, but I don't know how it works. So I'm gonna have to look it up. And then I also have the notepads. They come in a 2-pack, and I got the ones with the Hello Kitty bows. So you've got My Melody, which I do have that in the large size cover. It's on my teacher planner. Cinema Roll, Hello Kitty, Pom Pom Purin, and Kuromi are all hanging out with their big giant bows. And I love that. So that is super cute. And then I also I already started playing with them off camera, but I got the glitter gel pens. And I have to say, first of all, I like the matte feel of this in my hand. It also has that like sort of triangle shape. So it fits nicely in your hand with a little bit of thickness right at the tip. So it's just comfortable to write with. But I have purchased so many ridiculous number of glitter pens in my life because I love glitter and I love color. And usually they're a huge disappointment. Like big packs that you can get off Amazon, they end up just being too cheap or they skip and you can't really use them long term. So I was tentatively excited about grabbing these new ones from Erin Condren, and they're beautiful. They don't skip. So the very first mark on a few of them took a minute for the ink to start flowing, but then it was very, very smooth. So here's the colors. I don't think that it's like hyper glitter, which is probably why it's not skipping. I think that's why a lot of the ones that skip so badly is because they're just glitters clogging up the mechanism. But these are really beautiful. Like, I don't know if you can see them on camera, but it definitely has a nice shimmer to it. And I think these will make really beautiful journaling accents, underlines in your books, like anything that you want to do, or underline in your notebooks, your planners. I think these are a win. Highly recommend the glitter pens that are new. And what else did I get? I think that is it, other than I got the Hello Kitty planner for 2026 as well. So they just recently announced it. That they have the Hello Kitty designs for 2026. So this is their traditional life planner in vertical with the 3 boxes. This is their like OG format, but with the Hello Kitty insides. So this is essentially the same exact design and planner they had last year or this year, 2025. It's just 2026 dates. So the cover is new and you can get it in a variety of different colors. This is definitely the one that I wanted. It's so adorable. But the inside, you can see I'm using it in my HB90 planner. This vellum page, which is the cutest vellum page they've ever done, in my opinion, is the same. The rainbow's the same, the colors are the same, everything on the inside is the same, except that the dates have changed. So just to let you know if you were thinking it was a different inside. But I'm fine with that because the insides are adorable. So that will be a 2026 planner for me. Okay, so we have also this Erin Condren sort of mashup FrankenPlanner that is my HB90 planner. And since I didn't have time to record a Q4 reset video, I did actually record some of it, but I never edited it and posted it because I didn't finish it. We can do this now. So basically what I have been doing this year with my main daily planner, which is called the HB90 planner, it's quarterly goals and then daily or weekly pages. I usually print them out and put them either in a A5 ring binder or a disc system like a Happy Planner. But this year I was trying out putting them into a coil, like an Erin Condren coil, and mixing them up with just vellum sheets and other pages that I really enjoy, that are going to pull some love into my life, and using it kind of the way you would a ring planner where you can add your own things to it, but putting it all in a coil. So I bought a coil punch machine. It was an investment. It was about $100 on Amazon, but hopefully I'll be using it for, a decade. And I just took Erin Condren planners, took the coils apart, pulled everything out, and then reprinted my own pages. And I have been loving that. I don't know yet because I haven't fully decided on my 2026 plans. I don't know if I will be doing that same thing for 2026. I just will have to decide. And right now, the main thing that I'm thinking about when it comes to my 2026 plans is how can I make it more sustainable? Because for the past couple of years, I set up systems, and then you'll see in this one, I only partly use them. And in a way, I think that's okay. Why should we be hard on ourselves for not using every single day page of a planner, right? But at the same time, I think because I have been trying to say, well, this one is my content planner, this one is this planner, I have too many things at this point to sit down and use them all. And so I have to find ways to consolidate, but still keep them separate. And I know that may not make a whole lot of sense, but it's like my brain likes to compartmentalize so I can say, okay, this, and when I'm in this planner, I'm working only on my YouTube videos for heart breathings. And if it has my writing stuff in it, I tend to get, my mind gets like off on a tangent, like, oh, I could do this over here with my books. It's like, no, you're supposed to be thinking about YouTube. And so I think I either need to change my planning process for that stuff, or I need to really put some specific thought into my systems for next year. Also, I just realized my fingers are still ghostly. I will get those fixed next week, but for now, they're still spooky. I'm going to quickly walk you through this. So, this is a FrankenPlanner, basically of notebook pages, the Hello Kitty 2025 planner, and my HB90 Q4 planner. So, I've got that same vellum from the Hello Kitty planner, then my own Q4 goals, and a little bit of a quote here. I've got vision boards in here. This was a vision board from a few years ago. I also have some vellums that I just printed myself. And I did not copy my goals over, though I do have them in my main yearly planner, but I still need to do that. It's not too late. I have my 2025 vision board, and I've already been collecting things for my 2026 vision board. So I'm excited to set that up. If you don't do vision boards, I know it's not right for everybody. Not everybody is like a visual person, but these are so helpful for me. I just love having that aspirational, like, yes, this is the book I'm going to get published this year. Yes, I'm going to have beautiful bookcases. I'm going to be more active. I'm going to work out. I'm going to be working towards getting my next tattoo. I'm going to gain more. Like every time I see this, I remember my priorities. And so I highly recommend that. I have a lot of the early HB90 pages that I filled out in my yearly one that I wanted or intended to come back and also like copy it over to here as a reminder. And I just haven't done that. So I probably won't do that again for next year. Overview of the two, 2025-26 is mostly for reference. And then we get into the Hello Kitty pages. So I have here on the monthly, my intention for each month is to write out my schedule just for my readings of A Mirror of Shadows. So that is all here, like when I'm doing the YouTube episode readings. I started out great with these like gratitude, energy level, weight loss trackers, but I didn't keep up with it. So again, I don't know that those are particularly helpful for me. I do have another plan for trackers next year that I'm going to try in a pocket notebook. So I will share that with you when we get it all set up. Then I had this idea of, okay, so the Hello Kitty pages are vertical like this, like the OG Life Planner vertical pages. But I have been trying to use this for years as a memory keeper. And out of 52 weeks, I maybe end up doing 15 weeks instead of the whole year. And so I've been taking some of those planners apart and trying to repurpose the weeks I didn't use and put only the weeks I did use into one coil. But I have all these stickers that I have purchased. And so I have been thinking about trying, or I did think about trying to use them in this planner and keeping up with the memories of like, oh, I read this, or I sent out a newsletter. And then down at the bottom, I was going to write some kind of like memory or gratitude from the family. So it'd be work stuff up here, family stuff. Sort of started it, didn't really have time to keep up with it. October is such a ridiculously busy month. You can see that I mostly was focused on my Kanban board. I kept up with my weekly plans, but not always my daily plans. You can see a lot of the days are blank because the days were so busy from morning to night that I just set up my Kanban board and would come in here, check it, and say, okay, here's what I got to get done. And I would move those sticky notes into my planner instead of having to write it down. And I found that to be pretty helpful. But then at the end of the day, when I move the sticky notes back to my Kanban board, the pages are blank. And it's fine. I printed them myself, wasn't expensive. So I'm fine with it. But I also think, okay, let's refine that process for 2026. Something different that I did with my Kanban board that I don't think I've ever done before is I set it up just for a month at a time. So I set up October only instead of the entire quarter. And now I can see that we're a week into November, that I still have stuff from October that hasn't gotten done, which gives me a lot more clarity about like how much did I overload my plate in October, how much was unimportant and didn't need to get done, et cetera, et cetera. So I found that super helpful. So if you have taken HB90 or you're using a Kanban board system or any system really, and you find that like, oh, this isn't working for me as well as it used to, because we evolve, our systems need to evolve with us and they need to support us as our business changes, as our life changes, as our responsibilities change. And so that's something that I'm trying to do as well. So, anyway, did not do my October review, which is bad. I should always be doing those. I have another sort of vision board I made in Canva and printed out. This is very, very cheap photo paper. It's only one-sided photo paper. It was ridiculously inexpensive, but it does, even though it's not perfect, it does look better than printing it on just regular paper. So I will link that below if you'd like. I have all these blank pages that I didn't have time to fill out. I had intentions for them, but didn't have time to fill out. So one of the good things about being willing to take my planner apart is that I will take this apart and I will pull the pages out that I didn't use, and then I will be able to use them in my next planner. Sometimes I know a lot of people ask, like, what do you do with your planners? How do you store them? Sometimes if I want to use this coil again, because it's an 18-month coil and it's bigger than some of the others, I will just take these pages that did get used and bind them together with like a little alligator clip or a big alligator clip, and I'll just put them on my shelf in my notebook stay place, like my notebook closet. If I don't have an intention to use this coil, I will uncoil this, take the pages out that I want to keep, recoil it, and then put it on the shelf. And I do tend to keep these. When I was only using my A5 planner and all the pages could just come out, I was mostly recycling the pages that could be recycled. Now we've moved into November and I have not used this part at all. It did not get used. I did set up some sticker stuff. So this is for next week. So I'm looking forward to filling those out. And then now we're into plans for the week. I really love like this layout of having my tasks listed in a to-do list format, tracking my time, and then also having it separated by, okay, when am I going to do this task? Okay, I'm going to do it on Tuesday, what all needs to get done. And then I know at a glance, I can just open this planner or have it open on my desk and go, okay, here's all the things that have to get done on Thursday. That is really helpful. Tomorrow, I'm going to set up next week and we'll do a little plan with me here on this channel. But that's basically what's in this planner is all the way through December. And then I have book cover stuff. And then I have all of these pages that I could use for journaling, but I haven't, not journaling really, it's more like strategy stuff. So I've been thinking through potentially setting up a Notion dashboard for next year and moving some of my content calendar planning back into Notion like I was doing a couple years ago. So I was just taking notes on what I was thinking about doing. So that's kind of what the process looks like for those back note pages. But that's my HB90 planner, which is hybrid planner notebook, I guess. The only other Erin Condren thing I'm using is the same old meeting notebook that I've had. So I finished one this year. I started another one, and now I'm about, I don't know, is that a quarter of the way? Not quite a quarter of the way through the meeting notebook. So that slowly but surely gets done. But I highly recommend if you are in meetings a lot and you take paper notes, getting that notebook because I find it to be really, really good. So continuing on the theme of things that I set up and really want and have desire to keep up with, but don't have as much time to do it. And so when I start to, it's like I have aspirations about the planners, but I'm so busy lately that I think partially because I took long stretches of break over the summer. And so now I'm trying to like catch up on stuff that I missed and things that fell behind. So this has been a particularly busy season. And I know things will slow down come January. So, or really in December, mid December, things will slow down. So I'm looking forward to that. But Q4 is always busy. But I set things up and I want to keep up with them. But when it comes to priorities, it's like I need to be there for my kids. I need to get the videos done more so than I need to do a notebook. But anyway, I did a setup of this for my Spooktacular. This is my like project 49, potentially project 50. Someone suggested doing a project 2026 so everyone could participate. But the truth is, if I say project 50 and you want to follow me through that, you just rename it project whatever, but the content will be the same either way. And for me, it's helpful to have that birthday milestone rather than a new year milestone. But you could, if you want to follow along with this process next year, then feel free. to name it your own birthday or whatever, like Project 2026 or whatever. So I set this up on my Spooktacular and I have barely used it and it just drives me crazy. So I think I've got a new plan for keeping up with it from here to my next birthday. So I have, like I said, that same paper I just glued in with my vision board. I have things, these are like the big things I want to bring into my life, and then some little like mini manifestations. I only put a few for October, but hey, I did hit this goal, 81,000 subscribers. So I can say yay on that one. So thank you for everybody. If you are not subscribed here, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. So I've got those, but I haven't filled in the next ones. Also, the fit and healthy, I actually have lost a few more pounds. So I need to go in and mark that. Have not gotten on the treadmill once. So this isn't just lack of filling it in, it's lack of doing any of it. Well, probably did a couple times in October, but too busy. So many things, set them up, didn't use it. So my goal was a page a day in October. And it basically got to what I had set up in my video and did not get back to it. So I had to have a little bit of a think about, okay, why is this not getting used? Do I still want to use it? First of all, and this is good thing to run through for yourself if you've got notebooks or planners you're not using. Number one, do I still want to use it? Like, do I still feel the desire to use it? If not, then just let it go. No guilt. Re-gift it, rehome it, donate it, throw it out, put it in the closet and use it in a few years, whatever. But don't pressure yourself to use something just because you thought you would use it. Two, why do I still want to use it? What purpose does it really have in my life and how will it serve me? How is it going to make me feel? What are the kinds of things I want to track in it? That can be a good question to ask when you're reevaluating a notebook. And third, why didn't I use it when I knew I wanted to, right? What's standing in my way? Where is there friction in the process? And for me, the friction is that I was trying to set them up with these pretty papers and to make it look nice so that it would just look like a Pinterest notebook. And I'm just not in a season of life where I'm able to keep up with like 3 different planners, 2 kids, 2 businesses, and a Pinterest notebook. So I think that what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to take all my papers and take one afternoon and just set up the entire rest of November with the base of the pages. And then I'm going to put this notebook on my desk in the same place each day with a small, maybe this potentially that has a handful of stickers, a couple of washi tapes, and the pens I want to use so that it's all there. I don't have to go looking for supplies. I don't have to set up my whole desk. And we'll see if I can fill this out throughout the day, every day, and if it works. And if it doesn't work, then I reevaluate why wasn't it working. But I do want to use this, and I don't think this will take me all the way through the year. So I will likely be setting this up as well as for a Project 50 notebook. Now I don't think I got to show you guys this, but I did also purchase the Archer and Olive notebook from their collection this year, their Halloween collection this year that has the snake. And I just saw that my friend Jossie Corinne just set this up in the square for her 2026 bullet journal. It's just the coolest design. It's so good. I love the snake and the key. So it's the same size. It's B5. This one has deckled edges instead of just straight edges, which I think is really nice as well. And so this will become my Project 50 journal once this one is done. And for a while, I was really not wanting to use hardcover notebooks, but for this type of project, I think I will enjoy it. But if it turns out that the reason I'm not using this is discovered to be that I just don't like the hardcover notebooks and will never use them, then I will swap out my plans for that. So for now, beautiful notebooks. I think part of the key, if you're not using your planners or notebooks, but you desire to be and you feel like they could be supporting you, but there's just some reason you're not using them, one of the best things you can do is say, where's the friction? Why do I not reach for this? Is it because it's not easy to find every time? Is it because it doesn't have a home where I sit a lot? So like I said, the ones that I use most of the time, those get used because they're sitting in my nightstand every single night when I go to bed. They're there. And so I already have a habit of pulling them out, drinking my tea, filling them out. I don't have a habit with this notebook. So I've got to create a habit. I've got to make it frictionless, which means all the supplies I need, knowing where to find it, having a routine as to when I use it. And if I can't do that, then it's okay. I just can't use this notebook. So anyway, that's kind of my thought process around that. I also had planned to be learning more. And we talked about this, I think, at the last notebook challenge, maybe, or a couple ago. And I set up a notebook specifically for learning and courses, but it's this one that's underneath these other ones. And again, running into the same problem that when I go to, like, when am I actually going to watch those course videos? Usually I'm sitting in bed or I'm at my desk, one or the other. Sometimes I have to watch them like in the nooks and crannies of the day. So Evie's at dance class or gymnastics, I can finally sit and watch that course video. But I can't put this whole big thing on my lap at gymnastics, right? And so I just started thinking, okay, for the time of life that I'm in, I can't use that as my learning notebook for this big course that I'm taking. So I have this notebook that I have not used. It's an Erin Condren Take a Note. It's got this sort of vegan leather cover. It's black. It was a little bit minimal and boring. So I just took some of my favorite stickers and some that were gifted to me at different conferences that I went to, some PrankenPlanner ones, and set it up with stickers. And so this will be my Business by Design notebook. I do have this 2025 that I might put in here, and then I'll put a 2026 one under it because obviously we're going to run into 2026. This is just a lined notebook, and it makes it so much easier because I can easily, because it's got the hard cover, I can easily have this on my lap at events, waiting in line places, stuff like that. So for now, this is my new learning notebook. I will keep you updated if I actually use it, but it's unlikely I'll get to much of it in Q4 just because of timing. So, okay. What else? What else? What else? Okay. Let's pull this over. Okay. So I also have, this was a B6 notebook from Erin Condren. These don't have the same paper as an Erin Condren planner, that thick paper. This is more like, it's not really like Hobonichi cousin paper, but it is thinner paper. Just so you know, it's not going to be the same. It's going to ghost through. You can't use the same pins on it. But this goes from July 2025 all through 2026. And then it also has blank pages at the end. And I actually am going to be filling this out pretty soon with my 2026 sort of like course schedule, video schedule, things like that. And this will be a reference that will go in the back of my HB90 planner. So obviously didn't use some of the early pages because we have already gone through July and August. I don't think I'm going to pull those pages out, but I think I'm going to cover them up with vision boards. What else, right? You know me. So I can't remember if I ended up showing you guys this final version of this. I think maybe I did, but now I can't remember. So I had purchased this blue, it's just a photo album, supposed to be like a 3x5 photo album from Daiso. It was $1.25, I think. And I didn't love the blue for my series. It kind of matches, but it's not perfect. So what I did was I printed out the Shadow Games, just made this on Canva. I colored the edge with acrylic paint markers like these. Nope, not that. This one here. So these grabby brush tip acrylic markers. I just colored it in and used the light color here and the darker color to write the Shadow Games on the back. I also have another thing like this, but with all the book covers on it. And it wasn't sticking properly with the sticker paper on this sort of rough edge. So I just took packing tape and put it over the top. And then I also made a vision board this size, like I measured this size and made a vision board in Canva with just, these pictures do not belong to me. They're just random like vibes pictures from Pinterest that kind of represent the world that I'm writing in for this series. And I put it here. I did not put tape all over it. I just put it on the edges from, pulling it over the side. And then I've got my note cards for every single episode of book one are done. But it just so happened, I think I mentioned this last time, that if I do 12 episodes per book, that I could fit exactly all 5 books in this one thing. So this is pretty exciting. It felt like it kismet that it just matched up. So more vision board on the back. And then, like I said, on the back side is a picture of all my book covers, which I won't share yet, even though it's fine. But that has been nice. I've been carrying this with me everywhere so I can reference and make notes and jot stuff down. And then I also have this is my like overall sort of happy planner writing notebook. And I have been using my B6 Stalogy, which is almost completed. So I'll set up a new one in the Rough Draft Diaries for my second book in the series. But this has been where I've got my Preptober planner and all of my notes for the Shadow Demon Saga, which is the next big book in my lineup. And so I've got sort of my plans for November. So if you didn't download it yet, you can still get this rough draft planner. It's in the resource library. So I will link that down below. I figured out my like how many hours I wanted to spend, my rewards and things like that, but I didn't do a monthly meal plan and I didn't need yet to fill this out for the book because I'm working on a book that was already started, but I will use these pages for book 2. So that's coming soon. I started for the first few days filling out my word count, but I didn't have the pen. See, this is what I mean by like sometimes the biggest friction is just that you don't have the supplies you wanted to use. And so that is just something I can work on, right? But I still have a few days that I need to fill out, but I have those word counts, so I can do that later. And then I just started filling this out on November 1st for the week and things like that. And I really like these daily pages. I didn't really need the week because I have that in my other planner and I don't want to do double the work, but the daily pages I have really been enjoying. So again, this is a daily writing planner. It's in the Preptober planner. If you like this, but you don't want to use it for November, there's an undated version too that you can just put your own dates in. Let me know if anybody here would like a planner. This would probably be for purchase, maybe $10, that has these pages and the weekly spreads for the entire year of writing. Like if you really love these pages and don't want to have to print the undated over and over, let me know if you'd like a 2026 one because I can work on that to put up on Etsy. So this basically has, and of course, let me know if there's like, oh, I do this, but I never use this box, or I wouldn't use the weekly, I just need the daily pages. Like any feedback that you have would be super helpful. So you write your intention for the day, what your word count is, and then the scenes, like a little bit of a bullet point of what scenes you want to write. You can track your word count if you write in sprints. What's your mood? What are you loving about the story? What are your daily wrap up? So like tomorrow I need to finish this or I need to do this. I have really been enjoying the daily pages and I have used them in the past. Obviously, I created them, but I've been sticking with them more this year than I previously did. I also did go through and like set up these pages, but I haven't used it. So I don't know if I'll use the word count tracker since I'm using the website. So that is my sort of stay on my desk writing daily planner for Preptober or for the Rough Draft Challenge. And I think that is kind of the majority of the notebooks I'm actively using right now. Another thing that I'm going to pull out because I'm releasing a book. And when I released The Disappearance of Vanessa Shaw, I didn't really promote it at all. Like I talked about a little bit here, I talked about a little bit to my main list, but I think I only sent one email. I just didn't really promote that book. I was at that point getting pneumonia, super, super sick. And that pneumonia, not resting well enough and getting right back into work, has caused a variety of health problems that have been chronic throughout this year. So I just don't want to get back into that place. But I also do want to promote this next book and the next books that are coming up because in order to sell books, we do have to market them most of the time. And I created this author success strategy workbook for HardyCon earlier this year in March. And I'm going to go through all of these exercises myself for A Mirror of Shadows and start using these marketing techniques. And I think that'll be really fun to do. I have decided that I will be doing a HardyCon in 2026. It will likely be the first weekend of May. If anybody is interested, there will be a limited number of in-person tickets, probably here in Dallas. The details are not worked out yet, but probably here in Dallas, probably, I think it's May 1st through 3rd or something like that, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It will be similar. We're going to continue to build on this author success strategy. So if you weren't at the previous HardyCon, you're going to get this workbook and start working on it. If you were at the previous HardyCon, you're going to be able to go deeper in some of these concepts. So it will be for authors looking to market their books. That is the plan so far, subject to change if it seems like more people would like to do different kind of strategy this year. But there will be limited in-person tickets, but there will be a virtual option this year. So more on that coming. Very exciting. There will also be some opportunities for private coaching, and that might be the only opportunity of the year to do that. So be on the lookout. But I'm going to go through that and start working through my marketing. Just as speaking of like HardyCon and people sending books for Publish and Thrive and people that I've worked with, Marcia DeFilippo sent me her latest book, the Destiny In series, Destiny Awaits. So this is a cozy mystery. She wrote a super sweet note to me in the front. Thank you, Marcia, for sending me your book. This is definitely going on my shelf. I can't wait to read it. Jules Motchel sent me book 1 of the Hearth and Quill Mysteries, the Autumn and Alibis book. Thank you for sending that, Jules. I love getting my books. And then A.R. Abbott sent book 2 in her rapid release series this year, The House of Ward. This is called Bonded by Friendship and Fate. Look how gorgeous this is. The first cover is as well. And this is a very nice, like matte. It's really beautiful. I love it. And this is book 2. So thank you for sending these to me. They're going to look so gorgeous on my shelf. And I'm excited to find the time to read all of these amazing books by my students. Then we also have a diverse read for the month. So one of my best author friends that I don't get to talk to nearly enough, but totally adore, is Stephanie Holmes. And when I went to Australia, I got to hang out with her, and she sent me, or she gave me, like literally handed me her book. That's a special edition called Fangs for Nothing. How cool is this special edition? It's absolutely gorgeous. This is the Nevermore Murder Club and Smutty Book Coven series. And the foiling is gorgeous. The book itself on the inside is just incredible. It has a reversible dust jacket, and eternity was worth the wait for you. All this beautiful foiling. Then on the inside, you've got these front and end papers. You have the coffee on the side, and then you also have artwork throughout for the first line of each, like the first little bit of each chapter. So this is super cool. You've even got the map, everything else. I adore Stephanie, and this is her little signature, which I love. It's so cute. Stephanie is a blind author, and she is just she's just one of the most incredible people that I have ever met. I adore her so much. And I finally got to, well, I met her for the first time at InkersCon last year. And then I also got to see her again at Author Nation last year, right before I got sick. And then again this year in Australia. And every time I see her is such a gift. We have so much fun. We laugh so much. She's totally brilliant when it comes to author strategy, and she's such an amazing author. So Stephanie Holmes is the USA Today bestselling author of kooky, spooky, paranormal, cozy fantasy, and gothic romance. Her books feature clever, witty heroines, secret societies, quirky villages where nothing is as it seems, creepy old mansions, and alpha males who always get what they want. Legally blind since birth, Stephanie received the 2017 Attitude Award for artistic achievement. Stephanie lives in New Zealand with her husband, a horde of cantankerous cats, and their medieval sword collection. I hope I get to meet her husband someday as well. So shout out to Stephanie Holmes. If you have not read her books, the Nevermore Bookshop is one of the ones to pick up for sure, but I will link her website and her backlist books for you. She also has some amazing Kickstarters where she features not only beautiful special editions of her books, but also cool like extras. And she has a Substack. And I don't know, Steph, you're amazing. I adore you. Thank you for being my friend and for being so awesome. And I think that is our notebook challenge for the day. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back with some writing vlogs tomorrow for the Rough Draft Challenge. In tomorrow's video, I think we are going to do a plan with me and some other things, but I also have some fun events coming up for Rough Draft Challenge, like following that trend of like, I tried writing like X author for a day. We're going to do some of those. We're going to do some spinning wheel chooses my scenes or my activities for the day. We're going to do some polls where you guys get to choose. So definitely make sure you're following my account here because I'll be posting those there as well as Instagram and let you guys make some choices about what I'm doing for the day. And it's just going to be great fun. So, whether you are writing or not, whether you are a writer or not, I hope you'll follow me through that. And then, of course, in December, we have some amazing plan for 2026 stuff coming up. So, I hope you enjoyed the notebook challenge. Let me know if you've already decided your plans for 2026 or not, if you know what planners you're using. And for today, I'm going to be giving away a B6 or A5 Stalogy, up to you which size you would like. And that'll just be sent to you in the mail. So all you have to do is put a comment down below, like this video, and make sure you're subscribed. And I will choose a winner by, let's say, Wednesday. All right. I love you guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.